I'd like to welcome you all to the Buffalo History Channel. And this one, we like to highlight rare pieces of Buffalo history that you would otherwise not hear about. And this is one that I've been waiting to do for a very long time. And I am glad that I've got three in one place, all three of the key players that we all on something that we all work together on. I think I was like the last addition to it. This is something, was a great effort called the Underground Directory. And I'll just open this up by saying, I first met all of you, particularly Doc and Solar, and towards the end of somewhere in 1999. It was not the end of 1999, beginning of 1999, and up at the old Langston Hughes Institute.
Oh wow, Langston Hughes.
And yeah, it's amazing that I'm even calling it the old Langston Hughes.
I know, right?
Sadly, it's no longer with us. But I met you all, and I know you were all really involved in the hip hop scene in Buffalo. And I remember you were doing a community forum called Hip Hop Culture versus the Civil Rights Movement. And I was really, really intrigued by that. And I wanted to get together with y'all, and I wanted to really do some coverage on it on my television show at the time, which was BCTV Tonight. And I think around that same time, I remember being one Saturday morning having breakfast at Gigi's, the old Gigi's, which is no longer with us. And they used to have a table with the Challenger and the Criterion and flyers and all kinds of stuff on it. And I just happened to notice there was this publication called the Underground Directory. It's a small pamphlet. And I think I don't remember everything that it had in it. I think it might have had something about Amadou Diallo in it, I think. Yeah. And it had a lot of spoken word and a lot of cultural events that were taking place around the city, different articles, and I was really, really fascinated by it. You even had Pee Wee on, the late Pee Wee, Samuel Lee West, a part of it. So like, man, I gotta meet these folks. Yeah. So, Doc, I just wanted to open it up with you because I remember I saw your video earlier today, and it was really a really touching video about being called a legend, and you know what, I get that too, man. I've been getting that from a lot of young people. It always knocks me out. I'm like, I'm just doing what I do. Can you talk to us about your beginnings? Because I know you spoke about Upstate, and I want to give a shout out, a big up to a brother that has been instrumental on getting Buffalo hip hop on the map. Who we dearly departed from us, the late great DJ Shay. Doc, talk to us about your beginnings with this whole thing with with Upstate and the Buffalo hip hop scene and the Underground Directory.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, we kind of like in high school were doing music, everybody in their own different high schools, and it was like the best of the best all met up at DJ Ike Nice's house to discuss about, because Wu-Tang Clan had came out, so we were thinking about, just taking the best of the best from around the whole city and forming a group. And we all met up at Ike's house, and it started out, it was probably like 60 different artists from around the city that came initially. And we kind of dwindled it down to the foundation of like 9 or 10 of us that actually formed Upstate. It was me, my man Scotty Earl, we were basically the main producers for the group. And you had the infamous Slice and Malek. You had my homeboy Chris, my partner Marlon, Ali. I mean, a lot of these cats. are legends in their own right. And when when I did the video, it kind of showed me something. It's like everybody who I was a part of or in some way that I did things with are legends in their own right. You know, I was just saying, like, I think Solar is a legend to me. She a legend to me. It ain't even, I don't even question that. You know what I'm saying? But I question myself. You know what I'm saying? I'll never say myself, I'm a legend. But I can say that y'all two are legends. It don't even bother me. You know what I'm saying? I knew Doug you was a legend before I met you, to me. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was just real interesting because, you know, when Dirty Nate died, that was like really the first really like Buffalo legend in the music scene that passed, you know? And when that happened, it was a shock to a lot of people when it happened. And you know, it didn't bother me as bad as Shay. The reason Shay's bothered me was because he was a producer like me. You know what I'm saying? And I know the difference between me and Shay will always be that Shay always stayed in Buffalo, period. You know? And that I I I envy that about him because it's like I wanted to stay in Buffalo, but I just didn't see the path to be successful at being a music producer in Buffalo. So I left. You know what I mean? And I got successful outside of Buffalo, but Shay actually was able to experience the success before he passed. And that's what made it beautiful for me, because it would have hurt me if he would have passed and he didn't reach that level. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why this one hit me a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? Because it was actually somebody who, you know, I knew and it was a deep friend to me, just like Nate, but it was in a way that I understood it even more. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, the fact that most of my friends, I consider them legends is because great minds think alike. So, I mean, it just kind of, the people that I have as friends are like legends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just really interesting, man. And then Solar is just, you know, like I said, it's not even a question for me. They need to get, sis, you know I love you. You know that. All day.
So how did the Underground Directory come about?
He was being boss. He was being boss. He was like, listen, we killing it on the radio. We going, you know, we doing, I got to jump in like straight there. And I love you too. So I thank you for that. But Tim, you know already, he was like, yo, we got to take what we saying and we got to like get people on our mailing list. And we like, what mailing list, Doc? He's like, create a mailing list. We was like, okay, who knows how to mail merge? Like, you know, and it was just our message from when they used to do that. What was that show that you guys did on Buff
Jive
State?
Nasty show.
The Jive Nasty show. Jive Nasty, you know. So they would get on Jive Nasty, and we would just. It was a movement, but we took the television, the radio, and then that print piece. You know, big ups to the Challenger, but like we had another level of it. It was like this underground, like, yo, we gonna say what you can't say. Mm-hmm. Oh man, retarded rapper.
And that's crazy.
Rapping retard, yes.
Y'all be remembering all that. That's crazy. I be forgetting all this stuff.
It's crazy because I was with Shay's kids earlier at Johnny B. Wiley. Like we had a crazy good time, right? So I'm looking at them, I'm like, yo, I'm auntie. And they was like, okay. And I was like, no, really, I'm auntie. And I was like, you know, to tell them and thank them publicly for sharing their dad. You know, like you said, Doc, I concur. I don't look at myself as a legacy, but I tell my kids in any day, like, I'm Googleable. Like, you can Google me. Like, that's cool, right?
Like Solar moments.
Right. Like a Solar moment. But I was told Shay's kids, like, yo, your dad stayed here and y'all shared him with everybody, not just local, like he was a legend. But then Doug, at the same time that we're going through this transition of hip hop, like I roll with all the dudes. Y'all know that. Like I was like one of the females, big up to Indeed, give her a shout out. But I was with all my brothers at all times. I didn't care where they was going. I'm like, I'm there. What y'all gonna do about it, right? And I had to remind Shay's kids, like, y'all stayed homegrown. So your family, as big as it gonna wanna look, yo, it's a nucleus to this. And you gotta stay focused on that nucleus, because as a legend has gone up, you got a lot of us still here that's like really about this. And the love that was shared and shown today was like really awesome. You know, the aftermath, and then knowing that I had to have this interview and have nostalgia, and Zadok is there, and King Shotty Swag is there, and then I'm on the phone with like Ali, like I'm like, yo, you know, and it's nostalgia to hear real hip hop and give lessons. And, you know, being on that stage today, it took me back to the Battle of the 64 MCs.
We got to talk about that. I want to get, but first I want to get to Tim. Tim, talk to us about how you came into the mix.
I must have got in, I picked up on, just like you, at Elmwood Taco. I can remember I was working the night shift there, I think.
Wow.
And I picked up, must have been your first issue, and it was Inside the Art Voice, right? And I don't know, I give you credit for doing that on purpose. Like, that's slick. Because it's going in and he's slipping in his underground directory in the middle of the art. It's like, that was just genius to me. And it had a little blurb in the back, said, you know, call for writers. And, and I did not know either of them from nothing, but I had been a fan of hip hop my whole life, and I've never really did anything. So I was like, get off your ass, you know, pick up the phone. I picked up the phone, called, Doc answered. He's like, you like hip hop? I'm like, yep. He's like, you're it. You know, it was that simple. And the bond was like right there almost immediately, like the very first meeting. We were just all three of us on the same page, and I started writing right away.
Yes, you did.
What were some of the articles you wrote, Tim?
What's that?
What were some of the articles that you wrote?
I had articles. I know Big Pun passed. While we were doing that, I had the obituary for that. I was doing album reviews.
If I remember the album reviews.
Yeah, both new and kind of classics, trying to get some golden era stuff in there reviewed and get it back in front of some people, some old J. Rue, things like that. But really, and then that even moved on to the Challenger with I wrote under the name Mr. T. Mr. Album reviews for a while, you know, and I pitied a lot of fools.
Yeah, that's right. Wow,
yes,
bro, that is so crazy. I forgot about all of that. That is wild.
Talk about ghostwriter at his best.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that got me going on all of that.
That's
so
crazy.
And then from there, and then to get in there and see that, you know, it's not just the music. You know, they're in the community. They got plans, like Solar said. Doc had plans for plans, and on top of plans, no matter what you wanted to jump in on, and what you wanted to push forward, and what you had time to work on. You know, and you know, we did a lot of good work, and I don't know if we're gonna get into, but there was the Youth Common Council.
Yes,
was a part of that. I was at and I don't know if it's still concurrent, but I was at a Black Lives Matter rally out in Tonawanda a week or so ago, and one of the speakers there was a current member of the Youth Common Council.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's contingent or it's the same one or what, but I mean,
that's crazy.
It was after Doug had reached out, so I was already spinning the nostalgia for the last week. You know, I've been thinking of things, and the nostalgia was already there, and then to have hers just step up and, you know, I'm in the Youth Common Council. I was like, oh my God, if that's the one we started, that's just
we created that.
Well, how about we get into some of these memorable efforts? Let's start off with the Youth Common Council.
Craig Pridgeon.
That was your baby.
Craig Pridgeon. That's all I'm gonna say. He is now like somebody who's doing something with his life. He was the youngest council member. And every time I interviewed him on Take a Solar Moment or see him in the street, I'm like, dude, you have always exceeded expectations. But that Youth Common Council was our way of, I was working in City Hall. They used to get me in trouble all the time. I'm just going to spill the tea. Like, quit playing. Okay, I was working for the Ellicott District, and I would go to work on Tuesday like, yo, I think I'm fired today. And come home, and our tapes would come back from Apollo torn. But we created an empath. Yep, don't look away, Doug. I see you.
Oh God! Well, I knew this was gonna come up, so I'm ready for it.
This is a good release, right? And the Youth Common Council was our way of telling the council that we have young people that are willing to mimic what you say, but we know that they're going to give you what you're not paying attention to. And the council at the time was 7 African Americans, historical people, Barbara Miller Williams, Betty Jean Grant, Beverly Gray. Big shout out to Beverly Gray. I just met DT. You see, that takes you somewhere else. You think of Beverly Gray, you think of DT. So big shout out to Dwayne Terry. Then you got James Pitts, Council President James Pitts. Y'all kept me in that man's office. Now you think of him, you think of Wordism. I'm just kind of throwing stuff in because now his son took on Wordism from us with Kendra. That's still popping. Y'all know. That's right. Crazy. So you feel this is taking you somewhere. And then you got Karen Ellington was up there at the time. I feel like, I don't know, I lost track of fingers, but it was like powerful move. Byron Brown was a council member.
I remember when he started as a council member in '95.
Hello, he was a council member. So the Youth Common Council mimicked them on that level, and they brought real constituent concerns. They brought real light to it. They had their meetings. They had their they just had it formatted. And what I loved about that one project is it allowed us to leak that into every other thing that we did. So we always kept a voice. We always kept content. Now people are like, oh, I need content for my blog. Yo, we never worried about content. So
that's crazy. I'll be talking to my manager and I'm trying to figure out this content stuff. That's so crazy, man. But I forgot about all this stuff y'all talking about. Y'all giving me that is wild.
Doc, I want to. Can I throw it over this way? Can I throw something at you?
Go ahead.
Yo, I'm still right now. I got this cat, and I'm gonna say his name on here because when Doug aired this, I'm tagging this cat in it. Y'all know I've always been like that, gangster sisters of y'all. Like that's what I do. Right, you already know. So this cat named DeWitt forgot that like I rode with y'all right that long. Doc, look at my face when I say this. He was like, really, Solar? You know Doc Martin? I was like, how you know Doc and don't know me? You ain't real. But, you know, it was like one of those moments, right? But I'm going to say Battle of the 64 MCs. I'm not going to take us to Toronto because we're going to leave him over in Toronto, right? He forgot we used to bring the shows to Toronto.
Yeah,
right?
Talk about 64 MCs.
Go ahead, Doc. So, get ready.
I found an old stack of flyers in a record crate. I think I
send me some. I'm gonna put some stuff, add some of that to the video when I put.
Okay, yeah. I'll go dig it up again because I found a stack and I was like, man, no wonder. Like I was a shitty promoter, man. It's 15 years later. I still got a stack of flyers, for the 2001 battle.
Bro, I'm taken aback for real. I forgot about the majority of this stuff, man. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Okay, so I'm gonna help you with this one. First Battle of the 64 MCs.
No, I mean I remember it.
No, where was it? Where was the first one?
The first one was at the YMCA.
William Emsley,
YMCA. Yep. And this is just crazy, bro. I'm like literally like,
I got the video of when y'all had your artists at the Juneteenth of 2000.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's another thing I want to get on. Sitting in those meetings.
Oh my God.
I mean, we were engaged as what, man? I mean, that was.
Bruh, that's crazy, bro.
trying to get the basketball court. Remember all
Yeah,
those
y'all are blowing my wig right now.
The best part about the video, and Doc, I kid you not, y'all used to let me loose on the microphone, and Doug, you shared, I don't know if it was you or LLOP, shared that one clip that you put out there, and Doc took my shoulder and was like, yo, chill for a minute. And I did this spin, and I was like, nope, and came back in, and I was like, yo, that was the hottest clip, yo. That was the hottest clip.
So it's still sunny.
Yeah.
She hype, boy.
Yeah.
That's my hype, man. Solar 10 toes down, bro. That's what I always loved about you, man. You know what I mean? Unapologetic. I love that. For real. That's what's up. You know?
And who was remember they want to give us a basketball court because what was the artist? It was some 80s rapper, and something happened there, and they kept saying,
I forget.
Kumo D.
Okay. Kumo D. Yeah.
And we just had to sit there.
Something that happened way back. Yeah, that's right. But the Battle of the 64 MC stemmed out of, me just trying to expound and help other artists, get some exposure, really. Because we didn't have to do 64 MCs, but I thought it would be good to have that many people, and it was something that was never done before. When you see like MC battles, you might have like 10 people, you know what I mean? But if you got 64 and you kind of mock it after the NCAA basketball tournament, then you have it in a basketball gym, you know what I mean? That's the marketing guru over there. You know what I mean? Solar really made most of the stuff, most of the things that I wanted to have happen. She made them things happen, man. That's why I said she a legend to me. I ain't even need to think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just always, dope.
No,
It made me cry. I'm not crying.
There was something else called the Building of Hip Hop.
Oh man, yeah.
Hip hop culture course. So,
bruh, wow.
Yo, listen. The Building of Hip Hop. Y'all ready for this? Every day I go to Wuffo. I go next door and there's the Colored Musicians Club, and I miss Altini. So I have been like telling kids the historical story of how we built hip hop, and they're like, "Ooh, how do you do it?" And I'm like, "You take real life jazz, and then in the middle you blend it with some poetry, and then you kind of like throw in a DJ, right? And then you like take it to the level of the MCs." Now, this is where y'all guys pick this up at. Tim, you said you was a bad promoter. I don't think you were a bad promoter. I think we got sick of getting the phone calls from where we was promoting that. We was kind of like that, what you call that, guerrilla warfare promoter?
Guerrilla promoters.
Out at night, tagging stuff up in the middle of the night, bruh.
Yeah, we never put together like a sponsorship one sheet.
Yeah.
And I remember even getting a call once from Art Voice, because I was talking to someone and I said, why aren't we getting any love? And he literally, I was a little embarrassed. He's like, well, when professionals have an event, and he started talking to me like that, like a child. And I was like, okay, but this is hip hop, so.
And there was no social media at this time.
No.
Yeah,
like usually you have a price list and you have a demographic. He's telling me all this stuff supposed to happen. Like, we got hip hop though. We got, we got content.
We got people.
Yeah.
We definitely, that was college. For a lot of things.
That was. I think that's the reason I actually finally went back and got my business degree, because I think we have done so many things that finally somebody told me like, yo, do you have a degree? I was like, no, I got experience and I got I just need your money. And she was like, no, go get a degree and come back and see me, Miss Benton. Big shout out to that lady. But I also got to remind you guys of a lot of other things that we did. Our crew was strong. Doug, you became the only cameraman that I would trust for a long time. Tim, you would be the only guy that, you were the one, we would sit on your top porch, like in and out, like, and Doc, you sergeant at arms, dude. I miss your dreads. I miss your dreads. I love the little bald thing. But like them dreads, when he gets to doing one of these things and walking through, you knew it was like, we would all just wait for it. He'd be like, yo, we gonna we just gonna take over that joint. That's what we gonna do. And then he do that, and it's like, okay, and I'm like, okay, we gonna take it over. All right, guys, let's figure it out. But you guys got to remember the other things that we did a lot of was out there in the streets, you know. And Doug, you interviewing us, but it's hard to have this interview without your voice because
for real.
Let me lead us to another part. Let's go back to July of 1999 with the infamous, legendary, and something that I'm working on trying to get to post online, the hip hop culture versus civil rights movement community forum at Langston Hughes Institute.
That's Solar. You talk to her.
All right, Solar.
Closing the intergenerational gap.
Yeah, closing the intergenerational gap. Yep.
And all I told them is, we gonna have this conversation. And they was like, how? I was like, I don't know. And Baba Simba was like, because y'all gonna stop being ignorant. And y'all, you know, it was just like Lonnie was there and we at the Langston Hughes. And then I think that's how I got the job at City Hall. She thought I was sane at the time that she hired me and was like, yo, this is crazy.
So the fact that you had Fulani Carter and Baba Simba on the same panel.
Bruh. We done tapped a lot of legends.
Oh yeah.
Big shout out to Michael Hill.
Dorothy, Miss Hill. Nah.
Yeah, Miss Dorothy Hill. Lorna Hill, even though like Ujima Theater, that brings us to Milk. Then you got a milk car, and then you can't forget Cochise. You can't tell the hip hop story of Buffalo without the legends who have traveled, come back home, gone back, like all the trauma that we I'm the talker of the crew.
By the way,
I'm just saying.
Speaking of that, when I looked at the video, and I already clowned them for it already about it, but you saw a very young Ross Muata.
He was baby boy.
He had to be a teenager in that video.
He was.
That's crazy. You still got that, Doug? You gonna have to, you gonna have to put that out, bro.
Yeah, we need
that's
that
crazy.
footage,
Yo, Doug is like, bro, you a walking historian, bro. Doug, you so legendary to me, bro. Like it's like I said, it's so easy for me to know who is a legend, but I just can't see myself as one. That's what's so crazy to me about it, and I still struggle with it. But Doug, you are like fantastic, bro.
Man, I even when I'm putting together this History Channel, and I really only did it. I didn't intend for it to get like it's been getting.
Yeah.
But I was using it as a tool to try to do some. I'm out here in the DMV, 30 minutes away from DC, so I'm working on trying to do some connecting with people at the Smithsonian and networking there. And then but of course that was right before COVID-19 hit. Yeah. So now this channel is taking on a complete life of its own now.
As it should, my dude.
Dog.
And I'm amazed at how much stuff I've accumulated over all these years.
Dog, you were the historian. You were the documentary, bruh. For real.
Battle tapes.
Bruh. Doug, you have the key to success. You got the hidden gems, bruh. Literally, I look at your channel and you popping up with a video and I'm like, oh my God, Doug got that on tape. That's crazy. That's Doug. You are that person to me. You know what I'm saying? You get me every time. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like there was a decade where Doug didn't say no to filming that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
I got my camera.
I don't think there was either.
What are you doing? Okay, I'll go. I'll set up. I watched the Nancy Reagan one you did.
Yeah. I did have. There was a video with Laura Bush in there, and that was Tim came to visit Tim Hall's radio station. That was a wild story.
Oh my gosh! And now Tim Hall has like his own store / radio station / do your mail /
he does everything
and the fresh dipped ice cream / printer at the ink spot. Like you get that's him.
So by the way, We also had we put together an organization, or I think the organization might have belonged to Pee Wee. It was called the West Side Junior NAC.
Oh wow, yes, that's
and I remember we tried to have it housed in the old Build headquarters.
Yes.
Oh God.
Bro, Pee Wee is man. He got like a major spot in my heart, man. Yeah. Pee Wee is like.
I did an interview with Pee Wee back in 1999 before me and Public Access
broke up.
Parted ways.
Like that.
Breaking up is hard to do.
The interview was supposed to be aired that fall, but it didn't air. But it's posted in its entirety on my YouTube.
Oh yeah, I gotta go. I got to see that. But Pee Wee is such.
Pee Wee's board.
Yep.
Yeah, we were his board.
We
were his board of directors.
Yeah, Pee Wee was such an icon to the city, bro. Like kids would tune into his show, especially the one where he was videotaping the skating when he was at the skating rinks.
Oh yeah,
bruh.
That right there.
Bruh, he'd do the live show. You talking about, I'm Fruit Belt or I'm Central Park. Bruh, he had them kids
15
galvanized. Yes, 15 minutes of fame, bruh. He had those kids galvanized every week. You know what I'm saying? And he would show me your report card. Show me, bruh.
Yeah.
Pee Wee.
I'm gonna get you some tickets,
bruh.
He got them too,
bruh.
President Clinton came to town. Bruh, he got in there to film it.
He would be getting in all those places. Pee Wee was such an icon to me, bro.
Oh.
Like he has bruh. If it was anybody that I am glad to have met, it would be Pee Wee for me. Bro.
I am trying not to cry, guys. This is. I'll even put on I was like, okay, let me put some mascara on just in case this gets deep, because I still got to keep my gangster. 20 years later, I'm still trying to. It don't really work no more. But I try. When you think of Pee Wee, you actually go into a different type of movement, though. Back then, we had a rash of killings, and I remember squatting up and. I don't know how the cops did not arrest any of us, especially me. I'm just saying, we would rally, we would tell them where to go, how to get there, what train to get off, passing out flyers out in Trash City Hall with some of them flyers, when Big Pun, when we was rocking the vote, we were the original rock the voters, and guys, all I can say is I keep saying I feel like you, Doc. I don't see myself as a legend, but I always tell somebody we got a story to tell. If you would just give us a chance to tell you a little bit, then we could take you a long way. Just let us share with you what we got, because they don't have elders like we had. We had elders who took us up under their wing and was like, yo, do you. They don't have that. I still talk to all of my elders. I still deal with Barbara Miller Williams. I still, if I see any of the Hills, I still got love for them. As much as y'all made me end up being a Juneteenth board member with the shenanigans y'all pulled off.
I was just about to get to that.
So I'm shutting up with that one. I got to regress. Y'all shenanigans. Got me getting allies from the board members and stuff like that.
Those were the origins of the youth committee. Because before I met y'all, me and Kawanza used to catch. You were hell from people over findings. Like, what y'all gonna find for these youth to do?
Yeah, what you gonna find for them to do? Yeah.
That was the question.
And ourselves.
But this is the jacked up part. Just in case those of you who are watching, don't ask innovative people like us or that have a spirit like us, what do you want them to do? Because we are the type that gave a solution and then they told us no. So then we had to go rogue, and then we had to take that. Like, yo, we just go take that. And what had happened was they ended up was like, to shut her up, we gonna give her a spot on the board and just let y'all do y'all. So if y'all just do this and pull it off and she shut up, we'll listen to that. Is exactly,
have your own meetings. Don't come to ours.
that is exactly what they told us. Don't come down. Just give us a report. If we can help you, we can. We ain't got no money for you. And we took that basketball court and we flipped it upside down. Huh?
Remember that so long?
What?
We ain't funding your revolution.
What happened was, I don't believe they said that crap. But after how many years later, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm proud to say when I finally was able to walk away, I walked away and we was able to put money on the table by what we've built over these years. We was able to, and I say we because no matter what I did after, we still all went our ways. I always took what we did in the beginning, you know, passing the torch to goodness, to take the edutainment stage, passing the torch to somebody else that they can take logistics and work out what we used to try to work out and being okay with it. And I was like, yo, and money on the table, so y'all know how to fundraise? Now they visual, like we've been talking that before there was, you know, website. So it's hot to be a part of stuff like that.
You know, I'm looking back on those days and, you know, we talk about the stuff that we were involved in. There was a lot of other stuff going on. You know, we talked about it briefly. We talked about wordism and you know, the spoken word scene. And Doc, you used to do performance. Y'all used to do performances down at the Calumet on Chippewa. Man, there was so much, just stuff going on. Langston Hughes, so much energy. And even in the damn, why can't African Cultural Center. What's going on there?
We did do stuff there.
Yeah. It was an amazing.
The theater over on Military, we had an event over there.
Yeah, I'm sure enough did. That's crazy.
And I gotta say something about the Calumet.
Oh boy.
I would just like to say we won. We won. I'm just saying.
We go.
We won. I'm just saying.
That's your soul line right there.
We won.
Undefeated.
You tried it, Goldberg, but we won. It was a beautiful article. Thank you, Buffalo News. Thank you to Challenger. Thank you, everybody who read the article when he tried it. But we had several events at the Calumet, and it was so good that he was like, I smell opportunity. Like, really, my dude? He smelled opportunity, and it was beautiful to fight for what we believed in. I think that was our first legal battle, like real legal battle, where they caught us, and they was like, you got to fight for your right to, like, be hip-hoppers. And we fought. He was in court and everything. Doc and Tim, we all wore our good stuff.
Anything you want to add, Tim?
What's that?
Anything you want to add, Tim?
For those days, the only thing that I thought of too, like I said, all week long, and we were one of the first ones that I remember. We had that Langston Hughes forum on police relations and community relations as well.
Yeah, I do remember that. Now.
I mean, especially in, you know, today, you know, we had police there and we had people who did not like them there. And we put it together, and there was. I remember it was a little tense, you know, and it was definitely.
Y'all are like,
it was just
blowing my wig. I'm telling you, I forgot about all of that. Like, I already knew y'all was dope, right?
Like, Doc, I can see why you've been so at peace. Man, I wish I could have been like you, man.
Luke, big shout out to Luke Moretti. I think you guys remember the what is that? The Friends to the Elderly. Remember we rocked with them?
Friends to the Elderly. Wow,
over there, and that's
damn, that's wild, bro.
We was at the Friends to the Elderly. Tim, you talking about police relations. I never forget my all-time question when Mayor Massagello, I can't say his name.
Massagello.
Right. LLO.
Called our kids punks.
Called our kids punks. And that was all he needed to do. And when he did that red outfit, man, I was fly.
You had sitting there so
like, say something. And I remember they were like, and after these messages, we'll be right back. I was like, what'd I say? What happened, Luke? You said I could ask the man a question. And Luke was like, cut, go to break. You can't ask the mayor stuff like that. but he
A
said it
rebel,
in the
bruh.
paper.
Straight rebel, bruh.
Yeah.
She is straight rebel, bruh.
We're gonna call our kids punks. Now all of these mothers sitting here. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So man, we done rocked over our friends to the elderly. Man, we killed the parks.
Yeah.
We done
crazy.
killed downtown.
Yeah.
Met a lot of people along the way that are doing things out here. I met Tari and Kendra. God bless her.
Yeah.
Atra.
Oh, listen, Love London killing it right now. And when I say that, that's Love London. I think y'all can't say Kendra and Love and Deatra at the same time to me because I really get emotional. I graduated high school. Right there. Like, yo, the three of us, three amigos.
The three amigos, yes. That's what I used to call them.
Yes, you did. Oh, here come the three amigos. We like, you don't let us play a track. He'd be like, no. What did we used to be called? Sage? Our little group was called Sage.
Yes. Poetry joints.
Yes, our little poetry joints to your jazz beats, it's be that jazz too, resounding from the moon. And Kendra came up with like, we're gonna do poetry 24/7 vibe.
Yeah.
And she opened the door to so many virgin poets. She opened the door to take what gave us a break from having to do like in between the building and hip hop. We were able to collect poets. So when I think of Kamal saying working together works, right? We always have
amongst other things.
True. It gave us this way of pulling all of our resources together. We can do the battle of the 64 over at the Color Musicians Club. We knew we could get musicians from there. Our basements of the studio stayed filled with MCs. Kendra kept, like, I remember first time I talked Jumani into leaving City Hall as an intern and follow me to the poetry club. He was so afraid. I was like, don't be afraid. It's not going to hurt. And now, right, I was that way, y'all. Whatever. I had a way of getting people to do things. Like, come on. And now he took wordism and he's like keeping that legacy alive. And he hasn't, forgotten Kendra. He hasn't forgotten Deatra. He hasn't forgotten me. And we lost Kendra, but her legacy.
Yes.
Lives on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm not gonna cry. I wore mascara.
Yeah, that's crazy. I forgot wordism really was a spinoff from us. Yeah. That's crazy.
I guess one of the biggest memories for me was Juneteenth of 2000. When I first started to see the youth committee, the youth efforts really start to come back, because we really tried to bring hip hop back to Juneteenth, because the board was so apprehensive toward and ambivalent towards it.
Yeah.
And I was really, really proud to see them up on stage. I remember one of your artists, Raheem. I forgot the other two guys. I forgot their names. But I have the footage of all of Mahogany. I've had video.
Oh man! Doug, you gonna have to co up off them gems, bro. We gonna be fighting, bro.
Yeah, and
you gonna have to hit my server with them joints, Doug, or we gonna be fighting, bro. You got
So I got a question, Tim, and this is a real question, because this is something that we're seeing more of nowadays. Can I jump in and ask Tim a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Tim, you've been a part of the movement like forever, and like, let's look at the boxes on here. One of these kids is doing his own thing, and Tim, you ran with some cats and did your own thing and held your own. Like, Black lives always matter to you.
And that's the other thing. We said we all went to college. That's what Underground Director was for me, man. I was well read. I knew like Fanon and all the revolutionary stuff, and I knew the music, but I'd never been a part of it. And there was the person to person in the Black community that you guys involved. Like I said, you want to talk about feeling out of place at that Juneteenth meeting. You know what I mean? I remember putting together, I remember trying to convince them that, it wasn't violent. We showed up, I don't know if you remember, we had like notebooks lyrics and different things.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
we were gonna go in there. We were gonna show them, and still, like, just before I walked in, I'm like, who the fuck's gonna listen to me at a Juneteenth? Like, I was sweating it, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it really until you apply what you've read and you get in the community, you start to meet people like you guys and who were open. Like I said, Doc never, when I called up, you know, it was never like, I don't know, bro, you know, or I'll call you later. Yeah. It was like, you like hip hop? Yeah, you know a lot. And because Buffalo, obviously, we had 1 degree of separation. It was shimmy.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing too. Like,
who needs his own if you're gonna do a history?
Knowing Tim, knew people that could vouch for. I knew Tim was cool. If he was cool with these people, I'm like, me and Tim just hit it off automatically. Yeah, like that's my brother. You know, he my family. When I come back home, I go to see Tim. You know what I'm saying?
It was surreal, man. We were on the same.
What am I, chopped liver?
I did come to see you. See, here we go.
I'm just messing. Tim, I ain't seen you in years. What am I, chopped liver? Where you at?
I'm telling you, man. You know why? Because your Facebook name isn't Solar.
Well, what happened was. Solar went to jail on Facebook, just in case you guys didn't know.
What's that?
Solar went to jail, Facebook jail. So unfortunately, you can take
Solar moments.
You can take a Solar moment, right? But you can't get a Solar if I try. They're like, prove. So she's in jail, and her Facebook page can't be open, but it's there. It's what there.
Yeah. No, and it is true. Thanks. I mean, my experience with you guys, when I hear people talking now, like they just discovered racism. You know, like it just happened. Oh, what are you talking about? What's going on with this community? Why? I'm like, well, if you were into hip hop, they've been saying this all along, and if you listen and care to, you know, I mean, it's been there forever, and so many people now, like, what do they want or what's going on? It's like they've been right there in your community, and one of the things is you treat people like they're fellow Buffalonians, they're fellow people, and it's a community problem, not a race problem, is the way I've always looked at it. I've always looked at the Black community in Buffalo and everything is my community, and that's where the help was needed.
You know what's real funny about Tim though? Like when I really started to like vibe out with Tim was, you know, when he started to we started to share friends, right? And all his friends damn near was Black. I'm like, where did this white boy come from, bro?
I got white friends, man. I got a white friend.
I know you do.
I got a white friend.
You do. Yes, you do. But, bro, I was floored. Tim made me change my whole view that, you know how they say, all white people. Bro, he changed my view to that. You know what I mean? Because he's living proof.
And it's, I mean, for white people, it's not a natural thing. You're not raised. If you're American and you're white and you're raised, I mean, it's something you have to acknowledge and make an effort to get rid of, to break cycles in racism, in your culture. Like, how are you contributing? You know, and I always, you know, I always worked hard at that. But, you know, I grew up on, you know, punk rock music and skateboarding. Yeah, and you skateboard where there's concrete. So that put me in neighborhoods and environments where, you know, you make friends or, you know, you get chased off, you know, and that's how I came together with a lot of things. You know?
Broadway Joe. Broadway Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Broadway Joe, yes.
Yeah.
Boarded up.
Exactly. Yep. I think that's our fault. We rocked that joint so hard. Oh, man, going down to Sal's, getting some pizza on Main Street. You know, man.
I'm right down the street from there now.
Got you. I will be seeing you. And not to mention Dr. Bird's, Doc with your back. Yeah. Let me get a patty. And that's when they was on. That was right. Let me get a patty. Cocoa bread. You can come on now. And then you look at Dr. Bird's in 2 locations. So we used to rock with him when he had the record store. Remember y'all?
Yeah, on Delavan.
Yeah. And then the one on Main Street, you used to always go get y'all vinyls from. You know? Yeah. So we lived. We lived during that time. I think that's the difference too. So when you think of the history, Doug, and everything that you've done, recorded and watched us grow into, we're at a point in our life, and I think this is where we can be comfortable with saying we're legends or have a legacy, is that we're to a point in life where we can say we've been there, we've done it, and we got proof that it works, you know, opposed to saying, I don't know, or I've never tried it. You know, everything that each one of us do, I can look at and say, yo, we've manifest that. I love marketing. I'm still with Waffo. I'm still doing radio. You talk, man, killing it, right? I can't wait to figure out where I go after this. I miss my middays already. But I also look at me being a teacher from when we used to go into the schools. That's one of the things that we can't forget to say. We used to actually do the Tupac, you know, the different lessons, the 101 lessons. We had our little pamphlet and booklet, and we brought Jessica the poet to the Langston Hughes with the students, and you know, we taught what hip hop was, the culture of it.
Crazy.
And we used artistic ways to do it. And I never forget that. And I always remember one of the reasons that I'm comfortable in the classroom now is because we had auditorium full of kids. We didn't know what we was talking about or doing. We was just like, okay, we're going to say a rap. Doc, we're going to play the music. Tim, pass out this. Like, we had this little, Doug, record. You know, everybody had a lane, and we worked it. And now where we are, we're comfortable with saying, hey, we did it.
And I'll tell you one thing, I'm still trying to get past the fact that in 2019, I released one of my latest documentary on the 67 Buffalo Riot, the 67 Buffalo Uprising.
Yes, you did.
And then here I sit a few months earlier in Buffalo, and I'm looking at people turn the F up in Buffalo. I mean, you had a dude, I almost fell out of my chair when I saw that dude trying to firebomb City Hall. What?
He learned. We were throwing a box of fire. I felt so bad for that guy, man.
He didn't do it right. He didn't do it right.
Talk to his elders, man. We got to teach him how to.
We got to teach them.
Get this energy.
He didn't do that right. What I respect is the fact that our mayor was like, yo, you idiot. We see you, right? I respect that. What I don't respect is everybody got mad at him calling him an idiot. It was the appropriate word. Yeah. It was idiotic. Yeah. I think B did that one, and he not a council member. No, he the mayor. He can do that. You know, we know him from back when. His name is B to us. Uncle B. What's up, Uncle B? That's what I call him.
I know it definitely brought to light Carrie Horn's situation. Just something really people can go on the History Channel and see the interview that I did with her a few weeks earlier. And I'm certainly hoping that something comes out of that.
Recently, or an older one? Or?
No, we did. I did it. I interviewed her, I think maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It's up on there. We got about 5 minutes left in this Zoom cast. Zoom was nice. The good people at Zoom was nice enough to give me extend the time. So I set us up for an hour. So we got about 5 minutes left. Anything else that anybody wants to? Hopefully, we covered all the areas. So, anything you want to add?
Always. First of all, to each and every single one of you, I love you. I love you. I love you. I appreciate you. Part of the woman that I am today and still growing to be is because of the foundation that we made back then. This was the crew that gave me my first real voice. You know, like I was a Underground Railroad tour guide before I met you guys.
That's right.
Motherland Connections. Hello. It was great being a slave. I wanted to be free, so I went with the hip hoppers. And I really appreciate all the love, and I can't wait. We got to do it like a reunion for real. Like when Doug do this, or Tim, we still need those flyers. So please.
Yeah, no, we'll get them out. I gotta go get them with Taco. I left them in the.
That's my job, to be the reminder of things. So I'll stay on that.
Yeah.
All right, Doc. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, it really all stems from me being in upstate that gave me, I guess, the community recognized my name enough for me to take a chance on ideas that I had based off of, you know, the little bit of success that we had in the streets, you know. So I guess that actually helped with the events because people knew the name. They knew the name, and I just had two people, Tim and over here the Queen, that also had visions to change stuff. So it was easy, man. And like I said, everybody is a legend on this line to me. Y'all all have impacted my life to go on. When I left Buffalo, I was so polished when I got in the industry. They was like, damn, where'd you come from, bruh? I'm like, bro, you don't even, my history is impeccable. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of, I wasn't to be denied when I got into movies and doing film score and stuff like that, because the work that we put in trained me to be ready for the next level. You know what I'm saying? So again, I just feel very honored and privileged to have had you guys in my life and help me become who I am today. You know what I mean? And that is one of the main struggles that I have with thinking that I'm a legend, because I think all of y'all are legends. And I'm like, man, I learned from all of you all too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we lived in some legendary times too.
All right, Tim.
Yeah.
We got about 2 minutes left.
All right, I got last minute. The only thing we learned, I mean, the main thing that the takeaway is just,
Oh, Tim freezing.
because that's what we did.
Oh.
You know, we didn't have everything dialed in. We did. I think back at some of the things that we did, and it's laughable. Like, that's the most unprofessional way to go about it. You know what I mean? Like, almost threatening people to go to your show. Like, go to my damn show. You know, like. But if you don't step out and do it, then you don't learn. You know, when I tell my kids, do or don't do something, they're like, why not? Like, what do you know? I'm like, well, I did the same thing. That's how I know. You know, like,
Yoda said it best: do or do not. There is no try.
There you go, Yoda. Yeah, bless you guys. This was great.
Yeah, but I certainly enjoyed this session with you all. I was looking forward to this. This thing has exceeded my expectations real quick. You mentioned Dirty Nate. 2015, before he passed away, he came to me wanting to do a documentary on the 22 caliber killer. And I will be Urban Legacy Filmworks will be taking up that mantle to pursue that project. It will be dedicated to his memory.
Dope.
But as the seconds wind down, I want to thank you all for being on the Buffalo History Channel. It was great to reminisce on Underground Directory in the late 90s and early 2000s and all the shit we got ourselves in. It was great. And good chopping it up with you.
And thank you.
All right.
No doubt. Thank you.
Because the memories I had over the past week or so, they're gold.
All right. Let me stop on this recording.